just like you, 9.5 years, and you know, loved the Air Force. One of those who came to the recruiter and said, I'm joining for life, and he says, well, let's take it one contract at a time. And I truly did love it. I became a recruiter as soon as I hit senior airman, and have been in recruiting ever since. So times changed, bottom line, fast forward. After 9.5 years, you know, became a single mom, and the crossroad I came to in my life was that it wasn't feasible for me to stay in active duty anymore. 2 young children, can only do special duty for so long, you know, return to force. I'm like, how am I gonna manage all this? Deployments, exercises, those kind of things that you guys go through on a daily basis. It's pretty hard to maintain. You get these 2 little ones at home and you're on your own. So I said, you know what, as much as I love the Air Force, it's just not a viable option. So I'm gonna have to hang up the uniform and I'm gonna have to go find a new job. So I did, on terminal leave, you know, interviewed, and great job offers out there, you know, recruiting. So I selected nurse recruiting, that's what I was gonna do. And basically just finishing out my time on terminal leave. My buddy calls me and says, hey, you know what, I don't know if you knew, but I crossed over to the Guard. And I said, well, good for you. You know, I don't really understand the Guard, and you know, it just seems like 1 weekend a month, you know, what are they really doing? And he says, well, no, I want you to have lunch with me, and I want you to really hear about what the Guard has to offer. I said, you know, what is it, the Army, you know, no, it's the Air National Guard. And I said, okay. So we had lunch and we discussed what their mission is and what they do and how I could be a part of them. And I was really pleasantly surprised that the military would now be an option for me to continue my service. So I trusted him and I interviewed, and I've been in the Air Guard ever since. And so looking back on that, you know, time in my life, it was a big transition and just kind of scary, to be honest. You know, they preach, you know, that active duty gives you a lot, and they really do, but you can make it out there. And looking back now, I'm like, wow, best decision of my life. And so why I'm here today is to educate you again about your options, because if you are maybe at a crossroad in your life right now, or you see the downsizing that's going on and you're like, hey, I don't know if this is going to be a forever option like I thought it was going to be. Or you have a coworker who's, you know, getting ready to separate. I'd really like you to think about us or help spread the word, because this, again, is a great way to continue your service, but this time on your terms. So I want to discuss with you the first thing that makes the Air National Guard unique. How we serve, this is what makes us unique. We serve on a federal status when we're deployed, or if any state emergency has been elevated to a federal status. On CNN, you've heard in the past, you know, wildfires, hurricanes, tornadoes, those kind of things, riots in Missouri, those kind of things are happening. And so what happens is the Air National Guard and the Army National Guard can be recalled to help assist in those emergencies. So you'll help assist in real life stuff. We also serve in our state. This is, again, what makes us unique, that we're not only serving federally, but we also serve the state that we're joining. So if, you know, you're joining the state of your choice, you're going to be a member there, but you're also going to be a contributor as far as with your service with the Air National Guard. Community role, you'll also do events and things like that, but this is the second thing that makes us really unique, is where we're located. We have a lot of locations if you look throughout the nation. We're in every U.S. state and in every U.S. territory. So if you can read all this, you've passed the X-ray vision test. I know it looks pretty small from where you're at, but you can get the idea there. And I'm going to pass out brochures, if we can actually have this going around the room to save some time. You're going to see in your brochure all these dots that I just talked about. So if home for you is a state that doesn't carry an active duty base and it's important for you to get there, this might be the option then. 70% of the Air National Guard work as traditional guardsmen. They work part-time. They're working 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks in the summer for their annual training. The other 30% of the Air National Guard is made up in these two full-time categories, the technician and the AGR. The technician is someone who comes to work Monday through Friday. They're working a typical 40-hour a week. However, they're in uniform and they're being paid by the hour. 10% of the Guard is working as an AGR, Active Guard Reservist. They are no different from you when it comes to pay and entitlements. They're receiving the same salary, the same retirement, the same health care. The only thing that is different is they're never PCS'd. So obviously you would choose a state you want to put your roots into, and you're a member of that, working as an AGR full-time. Now if you say, well, Sergeant Faucett, I'd like to know where I can find these 2 categories of jobs to check out what's available, you'd want to go to usajobs.gov. That's where we would post our full-time vacancies. As well as if you're really interested, get a hold of me via email or phone, stop by, whatever. I will give you a better option that links you to every state's website, and that will specifically list just what's available in the state that you're interested in. When it comes to educational benefits, you just heard about your post 9/11 GI Bill from the Education Office, right? Previous lady? Okay. That is an excellent program. I'm telling you, that is the best way to get your education. I see it in action. My husband is from the Army. The last 3 years has been using this, just graduated. He used that GI Bill, going to school full time, got his BAH coming in, and just graduated. So it's an excellent way to focus on the education full time, collect the BAH to help, pay the bills, and also get your drill weekend pay in conjunction with it. So that will, really help you focus on that goal of getting that degree. But let's say after 36 months, you've used the GI Bill and you haven't gotten your educational goals met. Well, then you could use our state tuition program that's offered in every state to help you continue your education. Retraining opportunities, I get a lot. Hey, you know what, Sergeant Faucett, I'll come to the Guard, but I'm not spending one more day in my career field. Well, I understand your frustration, but keep in mind, if you only had to do your job 2 days out of the month, probably wouldn't hate it as much. But if you're saying, hey, you know what, I just need to do something different, fine. Well, how it works is we're going to put you directly in contact with the unit that you want to go to. I can place you anywhere in the nation. So remember all those dots. You tell me where you want to go. And we're going to find out what's available in that state. They're going to offer you anything that's open in that unit. So if there's a new job there that you're interested in, as long as you meet the ASVAB requirements, the medical requirements when it comes to hearing and depth perception, color vision, all that good stuff, then it's a match. You have the job. We don't need special permissions from a command like active duty does. It's just from that direct unit. So that's a great opportunity. Besides receiving your drill weekend pay and the tuition assistance, the retirement program is also available to you, as well as affordable health care through TRICARE Reserve Insurance. And so very low cost, as well as life insurance, and you'll be able to have base access and privileges, not just 1 weekend a month, but anytime you want to visit an active duty base, those privileges and access is still available to you. All right? So these are the 2 programs that I'm recruiting for, the Palace Chase program and the Palace Front. A Palace Chase program allows you to leave the active duty before your service commitment is up. So basically you're leaving early and you're going to continue your service straight after active duty with the Guard. All right? The Palace Front allows you to transition to the Air Guard immediately after your contract ends. You would then continue your service with us. You say, well, why don't I just, take a break after my separation, and then maybe a year down the road I'll come see you, Sergeant Faucett, come back to the, idea of coming in the Air National Guard. Well, the problem is if you have a break in service, your transition will not be smooth. You will have to go back to MEPS. Does everybody remember MEPS? Unfortunately, right? So MEPS is where we lose about 70% of our prior service members that want to come back in the service. Because when you go through MEPS, they can consider your entire health history from birth. So if we can do a Palace Front, you leave active duty on a healthy PHA, no medical profiles, then you're good to go. All right, that's how it works. So the basic requirements for a Palace Chase: if you're in your first term of enlistment, you must complete at least half of your initial contract. You can start your application as early as 6 months prior to your halfway mark, but you must complete at least half of that initial enlistment. If you've re-enlisted or extended, time is no longer a factor. You meet the time requirement. The other thing is that you cannot be pending orders. If you're pending a TDY, deployment, PCS, or retraining, you must complete those orders first and then look at applying. You cannot be on a control roster. You cannot be on a medical profile, as it says there, except for pregnancy. So if you're on a medical profile, get yourself healthy, clean bill of health, and then you're good to go to apply. You must have a current PHA, dental, and PT test that is passing. So make sure if you're expired, you go ahead and get those back up to date. We will look back as far as 3 EPRs. Those 3 must be at least a 3 or higher on the overall evaluation rating. So if you say, well, I only have 2, well, again, we're only going back as far as 3, so you don't have to wait till the 3rd one's written, just as long as the last 3 are 3 or higher on the overall rating. You cannot be within 6 months of your date of separation. You must have a valid security clearance. No Article 15s within the last 2 years, okay? So if you are looking to apply, first you want to contact me. Let's have an appointment. There's a lot of forms involved, so I'll help you fill those out and get you rolling. And then from there, once the forms are all filled out correctly, we'll then have you apply online. Hey, but wait, the first good thing is that you're going to talk to the unit first, remember, to talk about jobs. So no longer are you signing a blind contract, maybe like some of you did at MEPS, guaranteed jobs and all that kind of good stuff. We're having you talk directly to the state and the unit of your choice first. Talk about what they have available, and if you are in agreement that this is what you want to pursue, then we're going to start doing the Palace Chase package. So that way you're getting everything that you're agreeing to. Remember I told you continue your service on your terms? Palace Front, very easy. There's no approval needed from AFPC or anything like that. This is just a simple agreement between you and the card unit of your choice. Do they have an opening that you want? Do you meet the qualifications? 75% must be met on your PT test or higher, no medical profiles, current PHA and dental, as well as an honorable discharge, okay? That's it in a nutshell. So there is a 3rd program out there that we don't really have time to go over. That's the fiscal year 14 Palace Chase. So if you're interested at all in pursuing any of these programs, I'd really like you to give me a call. We can set up an appointment, go over your qualifications. And again, if you're like, hey, this isn't for me, I'm completely happy, I encourage you to stay in because active duty is a great thing as well. But please pass the message on to your coworkers because the Air Force is downsizing and it would be a shame for someone not to have an opportunity. Any questions out there?
And how is rank affected whenever transitioning?
We are going to take you as the rank that you left. Except if you are a tech sergeant and above, we need to make sure they have room as tech sergeant or above. And they will let you know that before you decide to come there, if they have it or not. Okay.
And what about the promotion?
Promotion for us, we do not test for promotion, no matter what category, if you're part-time, full-time. However, you must have a valid opening to go for that next stripe, which means that if all the above positions, are full, then you will have to wait until the slot becomes available. How does it become available? Someone, retires, separates, transfers to another state. Basically, they leave and that position becomes available. To get into that position, your commander and supervisor must recommend you. You must meet the time and grade, as well as skill level for that next stripe. Okay? Yes, sir?
Is there any active guard slots here at MacDill?
MacDill is a combat communications squadron that works closely with JCSE, and they're very tiny, to be honest. About 190 people are total at that little unit. As far as what's available full-time, the last time I checked the website a couple weeks ago, I didn't see anything there. Mostly Jacksonville is what I'm seeing. But check it out for fun. You could just Google, honestly, Florida Air National Guard, and you'll be brought to their website. Any other questions? All right. Thank you so much for your attention. You guys have a great day. Oh.